Guaranteed.
This part sponsored by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. The Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl champions, 29-13. Kenneth Walker had a huge day on the ground. He was Super Bowl MVP. Early odds for next year have already come out. The Rams and the Seahawks are the co-favorites at the top for the NFL and the NFC. And the Lakers back tonight. Big matchup taking on the Thunder live at Crypto. Oklahoma City is a 6.5-point favorite. We'll be missing two of the big stars. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will not suit up for this one, and Luka also is out as well. That game will be at 7 o'clock right here on San Diego Sports 760. Choosing the right home service company isn't just about fixing what's broken. It's about trusting who's in your home. That's why homeowners count on Anderson for friendly professional service that keeps everything running right. Visit AndersonPHA.com.
Welcome to the Fletch Zone.
Sound off like you got a pair.
In the shadow of the bay on Shabby and his crowd.
The Seahawks, they're bringing it home again for the second time.
The Seahawks claim the Lombardi for the Pacific Northwest.
So proud of our guys, our defense. I mean, I can't say enough great things about our defense, our special teams.
In the 49ers Stadium. Ouch. We'll react to the game and what it means for the NFL. The Aztecs pick up another Mountain West win.
Ohrnberger shot blocked away by Bird. Ahead for Heidi. Heidi, look out below with the two-handed slam.
The Raiders have their new coach. He was just busy until around 8 o'clock last night.
You guys know I'm going to Las Vegas, so I'm fired up about it. But tonight, for one more night, hell yeah, I'm going. Of course I'm going. Yeah.
Just confirmed it right here.
And the sale of the Padres still looms. Is a deal before opening day a possibility? We talk about it all from the San Diego Sports 760 studios inside the Fletch Zone.
Yeah, let's get it going, everybody. What's going on? Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John Schaefer is going to be taking over then. We had a busy one. Yes, in the shadow of the bay. The Super Bowl was won by the Seattle Seahawks. So I guess congratulations to them. That was yesterday. And now there's only 213 days until football comes back. So we're going to get it going here the right way. I said, Sammy Long, are you ready to have a great show?
I'm ready to have a great show.
Are you ready to have a great show?
You know why I'm really excited to have a great show?
Why?
The 619 has already started off with a beautiful text and text us at 70470. Start your message with team. Quote, the 49ers would have a Super Bowl if they had started Darnold over Purdy. What a way to kick off the show on a Super Bowl hangover Monday. I mean, honestly, maybe that would have happened, and maybe you guys would have been raising that banner. Mm-hmm. But it's the Seattle Seahawks. All hats off to them. We got our very own Stan Lazinski, our Quacked On Padres, all our Seahawks fans who listen in. So happy for Sam Darnold.
Yes, we just love all the Seahawks fans. They're my favorite people in the world. Sure, if you want to go that route, we can. Although, did you notice in Sam Darnold's post-game press conference who he thanked? In his post-game press conference.
Is that how Kyle Shanahan and the Niners can get strokes? It's by getting thanked when the Super Bowl winner?
Somehow, yes. Sam Darnold said, I didn't play good football for my first few years in the league, and then I went to San Francisco and everything changed because Kyle Shanahan taught me and Brock Purdy taught me, and now I'm a better quarterback. So
maybe the Seahawks can write a thank you note.
You know what, Kyle? You've helped someone else win a Super Bowl, but have fun on that broadcast desk that you were on pregame. My God, that made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, what was with all the Niners? You got Fred Warner there. And
thank you. What was going on? But today's not about the 49ers. Today is about the Seattle Seahawks. It's about the New England Patriots. It's about some terrible coaching on the side of the New England Patriots. And I do think an important lesson was learned with this Super Bowl. And I'll say this. Now, I got some pushback on social media from saying this last night, but I still feel the exact same way. Like, there have been Super Bowls in our lifetime where you tell the best team in football is determined because they overcame something huge on the biggest day of the season in the Super Bowl. Some legendary matchups. You think about some of those Brady Super Bowls. You think about some of the Patrick Mahomes Super Bowls where it is the best going against the best. How about the one where Brady threw for 500 yards and lost to the Eagles? Like, you're talking about the best versus the best. That is not what yesterday was whatsoever. Seattle may have been the best team in football this year, and I would give them credit and say, yes, they were. And unfortunately, the Super Bowl just got determined who was going to be the winner 2 weeks before the actual Super Bowl. I said it at the time that I feared the NFC Championship game was the Super Bowl, and after about 5 minutes of yesterday's game, it was confirmed that the NFC Championship game was the Super Bowl. Because my God, the Patriots did not seem like they belonged in the same atmosphere as the Seahawks yesterday.
No, thank God Bad Bunny was there to save the day because that
Bunny was pretty good, if I'm being honest. I didn't know what to expect going in. I really enjoyed that halftime show.
little Lady Gaga, like a little Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin was great.
I really enjoyed it. Thank God they were there because that was
what about pregame? Charlie Puth? Was that the best national anthem ever?
Charlie Puth, little Green Day. The game was boring. Like, we'll flat out say it. Now, if you're a Seahawks fan, you deserve all the credit in the world. You won the Super Bowl. They were the best team throughout the season. You think about the path they had to get there, going through the Niners, division rival, then the Rams. That game, to what you were just kind of getting at, was kind of felt like the Super Bowl. Those felt like the two best teams in the NFL, and Sam Darnold outdueled Matthew Stafford in an absolute classic. That game last night, I mean, credit to the Seahawks for having a game plan because I believe
kick field goals.
But it's smart. Like, you think about it, they knew that the Patriots were garbage on offense. And Vegas tried to tell everyone a week ago when they released odds for the next season, and the Patriots, I believe, are 15-16. And there was just a whole uproar of how could the Patriots be this far down? They're playing in a Super Bowl. Yeah, because they beat the Denver Broncos without a quarterback, and they beat Houston without their starting receiver, running back, tight end, and left tackle, and the Chargers with one of the worst offensive lines you've ever seen because of injury, and the easiest schedule in 26 years in the NFL. So the Patriots had no business being in that game. I guess congrats to getting there. It's really about the fact that there were so many missing teams from the AFC and so many injuries. The Seahawks took full advantage of it. Credit to them for blitzing. I mean, could they figure out a corner blitz to save their life?
No, and Drake May looked scared all night. The Seahawks were in the backfield before the snap. Sometimes it felt like it was pretty bad. But I will say this, and this is just going to so stroke Sammy's ego, and I hate that I'm even...
It's okay, you don't have to say it.
My mouth. How much better would that Super Bowl have been if it was the Buffalo Bills against the Seattle Seahawks? It would have been a great game.
Well, I mean,
and I think that something Sammy has been saying now for weeks is actually true. In the NFL playoffs, misses the stupid Kansas City Chiefs.
It's
all
listen.
Right, we will react to that game all show long. Rich Ohrnberger is going to join us at 12:30 with some reaction of his own. By the way, Rich Ohrnberger does not share our opinion that the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime
Bad Bunny was fantastic. What is there not to like?
Look, I cashed a bet on Titi Mi Pregunto to be the first song sang, and it was the first song sang, so I'm happy with it. And the party I was at, everybody was dancing.
He had some bangers. He had beautiful women coming out dancing. I don't understand.
Look, the first 5 seconds was just booty shaking.
I was like, why does everyone have a problem with this? Bad Bunny, lots of star power, one of the biggest stars in the world. I thoroughly enjoyed Bad Bunny yesterday.
It was a fun halftime show, which fun has been missing for a couple years, I think, and I had a good time watching it. I really enjoyed it. All right, some of these texts before we get to the big three. Again, the 6191 that's very funny. Ha ha ha. 49ers would have a Super Bowl if they started Darnold over Purdy. Ha ha ha. 516 figure skating scores. I watched this. Didn't make sense last night. Thought the Japan man and woman clearly outskated USA by a country mile.
I saw that.
Okay.
The quad god, our guy.
The freaking quad god ripped a backflip on ice skates. And yeah, I thought Team USA deserved the gold. I think the woman, the Japanese woman skater, she was incredible. That was one of the coolest performances ever. But the quad god just came in and dominated.
Are you saying that there is some possible corruption with the Olympics?
What?
Scoring?
Never. 484, what was the sadder performance? The Patriots offensive line or Fletch only eating 15 of 50 nugs? Anything less than 26 is sad. Yeah, that was a rough day, man. 858, I'm no fan of Bad Bunny, but he did his thing and had fun, and anyone still hating on him must be a 49er or a Rams fan. I thought the halftime show was cool. I thought the pomp and circumstance of yesterday, they knocked it out of the park. Like, pregame was awesome. Halftime show I thought was really good.
I'm not kidding you when I say thank God for Bad Bunny, because that game, I love the NFL more than just about anything. That game was a snooze fest.
Dude, the halftime show had the party I was at. Everybody was shaking their booties. There was booty shaking everywhere, Sammy. It was good. And the flyover was sick too. The cameraman going up from Charlie Puth to the sky, the B-1 Lancer coming across.
I loved it, man.
I don't know something about that plane, the B-1 Lancer.
What?
This might really make me sound like a virgin, but I learned this yesterday. The B-1 Lancer, it can go supersonic at just 100 feet above the ground, which means if it goes supersonic 100 feet above the ground, guess what happens to people standing under it?
Well,
they go bye-bye.
Wow, that's an interesting stat.
Isn't that cool?
I think the NFL certainly had logistics figured out. The last thing they wanted was to injure Bad Bunny. That would not have been a good outcome.
It wasn't going supersonic. It was going at a cruising speed at a high enough altitude. But if it did, it can. It'd have been problems. All right, let's get to the big three here of hour number one. Sammy Long, go ahead, smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
All right, if you want to watch the show, you can on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760, on X at Fletch and Sammy. We'd love to have you there. Drop a comment like our buddy Sir Will has already jumped in on YouTube. We'll get to all of them as the show goes on. Now, Sammy, is part of the Big Three the fact that long shots went 0 for 3?
No, we're gonna move past that, and we're not gonna listen. We're gonna
triple the units. We're gonna go crazy and then go 0 for 3.
Can I tell you what happened though? What pissed me off early in that game?
Tell me.
So I had
Stephon Diggs not getting a single catch.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs. We're done with Stephon Diggs. He's horrible. Rashid Shaheed. They were setting up the reverse play. They ran him around the side multiple times. I was like, we have a shot later in this game.
I know.
They're going to get it. Then they
also had a 30-yard drop, which would have covered everything for us.
Unbelievable. Yeah, Rashid Shaheed did not come through, just like Stephon Diggs. And then Mike Vrabel not giving Ramondre Stevenson the football. So a tough day for the Super Bowl. But let's go to the Super Bowl. Whose stock changed more after Sunday? Sam Darnold or Drake May? Sam Darnold positively or Drake May negatively?
Yeah, it'd be pretty easy to come on and kill Drake May today, and I do think a lot of people are, especially in Boston. Radio's going crazy out in Boston today. I'm not really going to kill Drake May. It's the same thing with Kyle Shanahan and the Niners. Is the same thing with Josh McDaniels and the New England Patriots. Did you not scheme up anything for what Seattle was going to do? Like, they've been running that corner blitz better than just about anybody all year, and you just decided, we're just going to let them do it or try to chip them with a wide receiver? I didn't really understand offensive scheme in either of those two games. Is Sean McVay the only person who knows how to scheme up an offense against Seattle? Because that's kind of what it seems like. Mike McDonald has everybody else figured out.
Mike Vrabel did not look very prepared for Sunday.
I thought the defense was fine. It was the offense that was the problem, and Vrabel has a heavier hand on the defense, but Josh McDaniels on the offense. What the hell was that?
So are you going Drake May?
No, I'm going to go Sam Darnold's improved stock. He's going to cost a lot more for Seattle.
I'm going to go Sam Darnold as well because, this guy's been on 5 teams. He was labeled a bust, a bum, a dude who cannot play football. Remember the New York Jets? Remember the famous quote?
Seeing ghosts.
When he was seeing ghosts. He was literally saying, I'm quote, seeing ghosts. He threw a pick 6. If anyone remembers, it was against Detroit. First game, Monday Night Football for the New York Jets of his career. He throws a pick 6 on the first play, his first snap. All these years later, he's a bust after the Jets, bust after Carolina, doesn't really get a shot with the Niners, and then Minnesota ships him off after 2 bad performances at the end of the year. Sam Darnold has won a Super Bowl before Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, all in his draft class, all people that we have deemed way better than him. So shout out to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold deserves all the praise in the world today. First USC quarterback actually to start and win a Super Bowl.
Here we go.
Well, I'm sorry, Uchenna Nwosu.
Here we go.
They should literally send a thank you to USC for Uchenna Nwosu, Leonard Williams, and Sam Darnold.
Here we go.
You guys could have had him. I don't know why you're mad today. You could have had him in the building, and you decided to sign a guy that,
Yeah, because Sam Darnold was the one that tore everybody's ACL on the 49ers this year. Because Sam Darnold was the one. Obviously, it's a very different circumstance. Do you remember week 1?
Sam Darnold is better than Brock Purdy.
When the Niners were fully healthy in week 1, who won that game?
Oh, is that Brock Purdy's claim to fame?
No, I'm just saying, how can you possibly judge this year's postseason 49er team based on the team that was out?
No, we're not judging
field?
the opposing team. I'm just saying you're upset about Sam Darnold getting praise. Sam Darnold deserves all the praise in the world.
USC getting praise. Congratulations, USC, because they had so much to do with everything.
Yeah, they had 3 plays. They had the guy who had the pick 6 and the starting quarterback on the team. So, yeah, I will go with Sam Darnold, Drake May. I think we all knew this. Drake May is a solid player.
Why did we both bet Patriots plus 4.5?
I didn't bet the Patriots.
Oh, I did.
You're the only guy that got talked into the Patriots.
You texted me the other night and said I might have to follow you on the plus 4.5 bet. I have that text.
I think I was not paying attention.
Were you drunk?
Just said that.
You were drunk.
I did not. I did not bet the Patriots last night.
We might have to grab the Pats and the points together. That is a direct quote.
Oh, well, I didn't. So you had fun. I don't know where your bank account's at. But let's go to your Niners, actually. The Niners.
I had the under. I smashed it, so we're good.
Per report, don't want to trade Mac Jones.
Keep him on the bench, baby.
What does that mean? So does that mean that they believe in Brock Purdy? Is this you want a 2-quarterback system? It
means everybody needs a great backup in the NFL. And
at that
the Niners have a great backup.
So you're not going to trade and get picks for a team that potentially could really need it?
No one. You're digging too far into this. Teams have success when they have good backup quarterbacks. That's what the 49ers need because clearly Purdy has a problem staying healthy.
Right. So is there going to be some thought
No.
that if there's another season of Brock Purdy getting hurt, Mac Jones taking over the reins of the San Francisco 49ers?
I don't know why today has become about the Niners. This was not on my bingo card at all. If I can find it, I'm going to say it right now. Here we go. Brock Purdy among 236 quarterbacks to throw for 1,000+ career passes in the Super Bowl era. Yards per attempt, first. Passer rating, first. Passer success rate, first. Completion percentage, third. Touchdown rate, fourth. Brock Purdy's great.
No, I mean, he's solid, but it's tough when you're looking at the 2 Super Bowl favorites next year in your own division. So,
you mean it's tough when your wide receiver one coming into the season doesn't play a snap all year?
I don't understand, though, from a Niner perspective, why you would not trade Mac Jones. He has massive value. I thought this is what you wanted.
He has massive value to you.
Right, because if you don't believe in Brock Purdy
season this year without Mac Jones.
I thought the whole point of having a guy who you paid a bunch of money to in Brock Purdy, a guy who is filling in during that time, plays really well. I thought the whole point was that you were going to ship him off for draft picks. Like, there's obviously something here that if you don't want to get rid of Mac Jones, then you're obviously somewhat concerned about Brock Purdy.
Who said that's why Mac Jones was there? Mac Jones was brought in to be the backup. Kyle and John Lynch have never once said anything about trading Mac Jones.
He's already
just people like you have.
Buy low, sell high. You obviously bought him low. He's played at an excellent level. Why would you not take him out of town?
Probably because they don't want him to go to the Seahawks and win a freaking Super Bowl in your own home stadium. What's next, Sammy?
Who is most to blame for the Patriots not performing well yesterday?
Josh McDaniels, to me. It's not even close. And then Josh Allen, the second most to blame, because if Josh Allen would have just beat the Broncos, he would have been in the Super Bowl instead of those New England Patriots.
I mean, it's easy to come on here and attack the offensive line. Will Campbell gives up 14 quarterback pressures, didn't talk to the media after. The offensive line was abysmal. But, I mean, this is kind of equally on everyone. I'm going to roll with Drake May because at the end of the day, Drake May missed a lot of easy bunnies. And even when that game toward the end, remember it was 19-7. The Patriots throw the bomb in the corner of the end zone. They get a quick 3 and out. There was an opportunity for New England to actually get back in that game because the Seahawks were never putting them away. The Seahawks, although it was a boring game and a slugfest, they were kicking field goals the entire night, and it was constantly always a 2-possession game. He whiffs on the post shot. He had him open, and then I believe Job got the pick, or one of the safeties jumped it. So he missed multiple plays. Then the pick six to Nwosu. He really just kind of did not show up in the biggest moments of the game. And Vrabel and McDaniels and these guys not getting him easy completions. I mean, the entire offense was completely out of sync. And I think the fact that they have not had very good receivers, we should have seen this coming into the game. They were awful against Denver. They were awful against the Chargers. They weren't very good against Houston. This whole Drake May MVP talk certainly was just about the regular season because the playoffs, he did not play like an MVP quarterback at all.
Correct. All right. Tyler on YouTube saying that second B1 bomber with all the 4 afterburners going was badass. Hell yeah, it was. And Tyler also saying New England's offense had some trash play calling. We'll get to YouTube comments and texts on the other side. Rich Ohrnberger coming up at 12:30. Rich played for the Patriots. Wonder what his thoughts are on yesterday's game, and plenty more Super Bowl talk coming up at San Diego Sports 760 live, my Heart Radio app. San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. John Schaefer is going to take over then. 213 days left, folks. 213 days until the Seattle Seahawks host somebody on opening night of the next NFL season. All right, with the Super Bowl in the books, here's what we are looking forward to. Spring training gets started in just a couple of weeks. Winter Olympics going on right now. I've actually had a ton of fun watching the Winter Olympics so far. It's been a blast. I think Team USA men's hockey team plays their first game on Thursday, and I believe puck drop is right at the start of our show, Sammy. So we are going to be all in on some hockey come Thursday. World Baseball Classic coming up March 5th. The Masters early April. Of course, March Madness is going to be going on at the end of March. NBA, the All-Star games like this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, in LA. But
yeah,
the finals is what we care about.
USA versus the world. And then the finals are when? Is that June? June.
Stanley Cup
NBA
finals in June.
FIFA World Cup this year from June 11th through July 19th. Wimbledon, which will be all over, coming up in June. U.S. Open late August for tennis. U.S. Open for golf is mid-June. Tour de France this year. Anyone care about Tour de France?
Sure. Can you bet on it?
I'm sure you can.
Is Lance Armstrong still competing?
I don't think so. WrestleMania 42 is in April.
That's not a
year.
sport. That doesn't count.
Dude, WrestleMania has more fans than a lot of sports that we consider sports.
But it's all acting. It's all planned out.
The new Tom Brady Flag Football League is getting going in March. Any excitement about that?
No, I'll take a pass.
All right. Baseball is the next thing we have that's going to be big and awesome.
Yeah, baseball, basketball, fighting. I'm with all that. I'm with the Olympics. Everything until you got to WrestleMania. After that, we're
Formula
out.
One. Formula One goes early March and it runs through much of the summer.
Yeah.
Here we go, baby. We got plenty on the sports calendar coming up that we can get into. All right. Text line 484 said the commercials were depressing. I liked the commercials yesterday.
What was wrong with the commercials yesterday?
858 Lindsey Vohn's scream after she broke her leg was better than listening to Bad Bunny. Lindsey
come
Vonn,
on now.
Dude, that was pretty heartbreaking. It wasn't even the ACL. It seemed like that messed her up. It was, she took a crazy line and ended up getting hooked by one of the flags.
Yeah, it is so sad that Olympians you train your whole life for like this moment, and it's a couple days, and then obviously kudos to her for trying to come back. But
luckily, she's been to the top of the mountain a couple of times. Lindsey Vonn has won a couple golds, and so this sucks. You hate to see a career end that way, but it is what it is. And U.S. still won gold in that event. In the same event where she broke her leg, they won gold in that. I can't remember the name of the lady who ended up winning it, but still got the gold. All right, we will get more into the commercials, more into the game coming up in just a little bit, but we have Rich Ohrnberger who's waiting on the other side. Former New England Patriot, former NFL player, current radio host over on 101.5 KGB. Big Rich joins us next at San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. The Seattle Seahawks have won the Super Bowl 29-13 over the New England Patriots. The defense had 6 sacks and an interception return. They are the co-favorites next year, along with division rival the Los Angeles Rams, to hoist the trophy. The Bills and Ravens are the top odds out of the AFC. And the Lakers back tonight on San Diego Sports 760, taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder at 7 o'clock. Oklahoma City is a 7.5 point favorite. Luka and Shea will be missing this game. If you have questions about youth or high school sports, Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. John Schaefer is going to take over then. And hey, the Aztecs are back home Saturday night. They got Nevada. Our pregame coverage gets going at 6. John Schaefer will have the tip just after 7 right here on your home for the Aztecs, San Diego Sports 760. Rich Ohrnberger is here. Rich and I and Travis and Kat, we do the morning show over on 101.5 KGB. And Rich, the text line wants to know, so we're going to ask you to spill some beans here if this is true. Rich Ohrnberger, is it true you're going to team up with John Schaefer for the John and Rich show from 2 to 6 weekdays on San Diego Sports 760?
Oh man, you spilled the beans too early. I can't believe you would do that to everyone.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
No, there's absolutely no way. Not unless John wants to marry me, because I'll be kicked out of my home.
Yeah, well, we all make decisions based on what's better for the people of San Diego. You know, Rich, 913 also adding in the Rich, which you used to do every morning here on 760. All right, I can't believe we haven't gone this far without saying this, but thank you to everybody who showed up on Friday, both for the big game tailgate and mine and Sammy's show in the afternoon. We had a ton of fun seeing you all out at KMB Bistro in Del Cerro. Rich, that was a party, man.
It was. It started early. It went late. And, a huge tip of the cap to you, Fletch, for coming back, and Sammy for extending the party and making it fun for everyone. And the reality is we did very little. Tony Conja's wife, Lydia, over at KMB Bistro set the whole thing up. And we just were talking into microphones and enjoying the party along with our listeners. So thank you to them, and thank you to everybody who stopped by on their way to work or who were taking the day off, having a long weekend to take in, the Super Bowl, which our party was a lot better than the Super Bowl, as it turns out.
Yeah. What do you think about that game? So you played for the Patriots. How do you feel about the way they performed yesterday?
Well, look, I mean, the Patriots had their flaws. There's no denying that. And actually the biggest flaw we'll get to in a second, but so did Seattle. I mean, these were imperfect teams, and there's really no such thing as a perfect team. But really, when you think about the past bunch of years in the NFL, there have been some presumed juggernauts, either in the AFC or both the AFC and the NFC. The Chiefs, obviously, lording over much of the NFL for the decade. And, the San Francisco 49ers popping up, and the Eagles popping up, and the Detroit Lions popping up as NFC teams that really started to take the mantle and take over. We had none of that this year. The Detroit Lions had a down year. The Eagles had a down year. The Chiefs obviously had a down year. The Bills, who looked probably the best in terms of one of the more complete teams, folded up in the postseason and fired their head coach. So they were having some internal issues, so it just was one of those years where there was a lot of parity. And I think in many years that preceded this one, both the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots wouldn't have made it to the final matchup. But here we are, 2026, 2025 regular season proved different. The Patriots, how I feel about it is, look, Drake May is a very talented young quarterback. But do I think he was ready for this stage, his second year in the NFL? Clearly not, and it's not only his fault. I mean, that defense obviously let up, nearly 30 points. That offense really couldn't move the ball on the ground either. And the offensive line had some serious work to do. But you need to have an elite quarterback to really win a Super Bowl or have any consistent, excellence in the NFL. And I don't think Drake May is quite there yet. Now, that's not saying Sam Darnold is, but somebody had to win that game, and the Seattle Seahawks performed better.
So I was going to ask you about Sam Darnold. Where do you stack him in the NFC? Because it feels like his draft class, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson win MVPs left and right, and Baker Mayfield's gotten a lot of praise, but he's the first to win a Super Bowl. Do you see him as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC, or do you think it's more about the team?
I think it's a really complete team, and I think it's a good question that a lot of people are going to be pondering for much of this offseason. It's like, is Sam Darnold, for example, a top 10 quarterback? That's going to be one of those bottom line scrolls on all the sports shows this offseason. Is Sam Darnold one of the best NFC quarterbacks? Is Sam Darnold, going to make it to another Super Bowl? All these questions will be pondered. We won't have the answers to that question probably for another few years as he continues to mature in this league and continues to progress in his career. And, the assumption is, well, if the Seattle Seahawks were this good this year, well, clearly they'll be good last year. Well, not so fast. I mean, we know all the time this happens with teams where they seem like they're going to be all set because they have a good quarterback and a good team around them. But look at the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow got all the way to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs against the Rams, and they lose that Super Bowl. They haven't been back. You look at a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, as great as he's been, and he is great. He still can't get over the hump in the postseason. Josh Allen, same thing. So there's a lot of quarterbacks out there who, it's tricky, I guess is the best way to describe it. You could have great talent and you could be one of the best in the league and you could still struggle to get there. Now, am I going to put him in that echelon with like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson? Not yet. They share a draft class. I would put him closer to like a Baker Mayfield where, he will flirt with being a top 10 quarterback, maybe consistently even over the course of his career. But do I think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, consistently over the course of the latter half of his career? No, I don't think so. I think Darnold's always going to need some help around him. But I would love for him to prove me wrong because the better this league is at quarterback at that position, the better it is to watch.
All right, Rich, halftime show. Let's get into it. Rich Ohrnberger joining us today on San Diego Sports 760. Bad Bunny, how'd you think?
Okay, Bad Bunny, obviously Bad Bunny. He's a highly respected entertainer. He obviously is a cultural phenomenon because he's breaking through not only in Spanish-speaking countries but English-speaking countries. I mean, he sells out stadiums in this country. But having said that, I thought the halftime show was less of a concert and more of a short independent film. It was interesting. I'll give him that. He took a big swing, and a lot of people thinks that he really connected and knocked it out of the park. I'm not one of them. The halftime show traditionally has been a big concert. It has felt like, an enormous stage where you have to be an electrifying act to really fill the room. And, you gotta pull out all the stops. You gotta have an anthology of hits. You gotta have, guest performances by amazing megastars and really try to impress everybody. And I think he took a different approach. And I think there is a large faction of people that really worked for, but I was bored and confused through most of it, and I didn't really enjoy it. Now, again, that doesn't mean that I don't care for, the Spanish speaking crowd or people from Latin countries because, we were discussing this on the morning show. I don't believe in all of, the virtue signaling stuff. Like you have to say that you like a halftime show to be a good person. I don't care about all that. You either are entertained by it or not. I was not entertained by it, and that's all right.
You're telling me you weren't booty shaking at all?
Not even a little bit. I will say this. The two things that I understood and really did enjoy was there was a bunch of really, really fun, attractive dancers in the beginning of it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Who were booty shaking to begin with. That was fun. And then he said, God bless America, and named all of the countries in the Western hemisphere. And I understood that. But besides that, I mean, it felt like a halftime show that wasn't really for me, and that's okay. I'll catch the next one, I guess.
Rich, back to the NFL. So the Patriots there's a lot being made today about this team shouldn't have even been there. They had an easy road to the playoffs, and kind of like going far the other way about, will they make the playoffs next year? Are they going to win the division? Do you think, like, where do you see them next year in the AFC? Do you think that there should still be a favorite to get back to the game, or there's a lot of teams ahead of them?
They probably have a good amount of work to do this offseason. I mean, they're going to play a much better schedule. I think their schedule helped them this season a lot. Do I think, in terms of the AFC, I think they'll be a top half team. I think they'll be better than the Dolphins and the Jets next year. They'll compete with the Bills in division again. But depending on who they draw in terms of their scheduling, and I'm assuming it's going to be a much more difficult schedule this upcoming season than it was this year, it's going to be a little bit of a haul for them to get back to the Super Bowl. But it always is. It's really hard to repeat success in this league for those reasons and many more. It's just hard to assemble a team and have the sort of luck that you need and the durability that you need to get to the final game. So, that in of itself is a difficulty that very few teams have been able to do consistently. Cowboys of the 90s, Patriots for 2 decades with Tom Brady at the helm, Chiefs most recently, but those are exceptions that prove the rule. The majority of the NFL really struggles to do that. And so is Mike Vrabel a good coach? Yeah. Do I think Drake May is a bright young talent in this league? Yeah. But I think they'll be a top half AFC team next season. They'll probably be, a top 7, top 8 team in that division. Like I said, they'll probably be a playoff team again, but a Super Bowl team, probably not.
All right, Rich. Well, thank you for your time today, pal, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Sounds good, boys. Have a good one.
Rich Ohrnberger, you hear him every morning on 101.5 KGB, 6 to 10 a.m., along with Travis Dale, Cat Fisher, and yours truly over on 101.5 KGB. It's a party in the morning. Go check us out if you're missing hearing us over here. Hey, we got 13 chances today for you to win $1,000. Your next opportunity is coming up at 1 o'clock. We do this every hour from 6 to 6. You just listen for a keyword. You can enter it at sportssd.com. Your next chance to win $1,000 coming up at 1 o'clock. And coming up next, from 0 for 3 to 3 for 3, that's what we're doing today. Long Shots with Sammy Long, live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John Schaefer is going to take over then. Our buddy Tyler on YouTube saying, we just need Sammy to break the seal and go on a streak. Hashtag faith in Sammy.
Hell yeah, Tyler.
We had a streaker at the Super Bowl. Do you have any money on that?
No, yeah, they were. Mike Tirico was really going after the streaker for jumping out there.
Who was the guy on the Patriots who almost decked him? There was a guy on the Patriots who looked like he was about to take a.
I didn't see it because they didn't show it.
Right, I saw some sideline angles of people.
Oh,
on their phones,
I didn't see that.
But there was a Patriots player, and the text line, help me out, 70470, start your message with team, who was starting to take an angle on him like he was about to crack him, and the dude slid right at the last second to avoid it, which was a smart move. He would have been laid out.
Well, that'd be good. I mean, the last thing you want is one of these games. Remember this happened last year when it happens at baseball games a lot, but some guy ran out there and people were criticizing the security guards. Like, what if someone runs up to the star player and kicks him in the leg
or shanks him with a knife?
Right. I mean, it's like this yeah, 100%. So they should have decked him. That'd have been fun.
Rich told a story about a Chargers game he was playing in at one point, and there was a streaker that ended up going up to Antonio Gates, and Rich said he just picked the dude up by the back of his like jacket or coat or whatever and threw him. And the guy just went kind of ass over heels 10 yards away or so from.
Yeah, I would not be picking a fight with Antonio Gates
or primetime 350-pound Rich Ohrnberger. No, thank you. That was a big boy back in the day. All right, Sammy, long shots is coming here, and rough Super Bowl for long shots. It didn't go well. That was a little 0 for 3. But faith in Sammy, like our buddy Tyler says, that's going to be the first T-shirt at our merch shop that we're going to put up at some point. Hashtag faith in Sammy. Go ahead, smash it.
You looking for some luck? Want to win big? Gotta play big.
You are so money, you don't even know it.
Time to take a chance
Say that me and his man.
with long shots.
I would honestly sign up for like one Padres game or something as one of those the red coat wearer peoples, you know, who are security on the field, who get opportunities to go deck somebody who runs out into the
dude,
field.
One of the redcoats, you know how excited they would be? It's like, oh, this is my moment.
Oh, if someone jumps over if you see some guy in right field who you're kind of keeping an eye on, you're like, all right, he's on his 19th Busch Light. This guy's jumping over the rail.
I just want to know the mindset of what is so cool, because it's been done a million times. Like, I get the first couple times people are like, oh, it'd be crazy if I jumped on the field. I don't understand. Like, what is the joy of it? Everyone is annoyed by you, and then you just get pummeled, tackled, thrown in jail for the night. So I don't really get it.
If you have a bet going on somebody streaking, maybe that's a way to cash.
Remember that idiot who opened his mouth in the Chiefs-Bucks Super Bowl?
And he told everyone that he put a bet on.
Yeah,
it?
it's like, dude, you were gonna like score. You were
there.
But yeah.
All right, where are we going now?
All right, we're going to college basketball first. So massive matchup at the Fog. Kansas, Arizona tonight. Number 1 team in the country, Arizona, heading into Kansas to take on the Jayhawks. This is a 1.5 point favorite for Arizona. Now, Arizona has multiple NBA draft picks on their team. Koa Pete. I mean, this team, we saw it against San Diego State. And San Diego State's credit actually held with them in the first half. I think that last minute or two at the end of it really kind of doomed San Diego State because they were playing such a great first half of basketball, gave up their 6 to 8 point lead, and then Arizona opened it up in the second half. I'm staying away from picking this game because Arizona's the more talented team, but I think Kansas at home is a brutal place to play. Melvin Council's been playing really good ball recently. Bryson Tiller has really stepped up, emerged as a scorer, and then obviously Darren Peterson is going to be the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft. We're going under 153.5. I think this number, people look at the stars in this game and go, oh, it's going to go over. Both teams hold the opposition to 67 points per game. And I know that Arizona scores 89 per game. That's not happening in Kansas. I promise you, Bill Self, Kansas may lose the game. They're not going to drop 90 on him on the road. And Kansas averages about 77 points per game. So I like the under here. Both teams' defense are excellent. I think the number's a little bit juiced because there's a lot of stars in the game. People getting a little bit over their skis. Under 153.5 points in that one. All right. Let's go to the Hawks and the Timberwolves. The Hawks have been playing really good basketball this year, and people might not pay attention because it's the Atlanta Hawks, but Jonathan Kuminga comes over from the deadline. Jalen Johnson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker came over from the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was kind of an afterthought there and has emerged into a really big-time scorer, averaging about 20 points per game this season. So Atlanta's been a fun team. They got a lot of really talented wing players, can get out and run and gun. Not tonight, though. They're in Minnesota taking on the Timberwolves. Timberwolves 8.5-point favorites. We're going to lay the points there. And I know that's a really big spread. Timberwolves coming off a tough 2-game stretch. They lost to the Pelicans. They actually lost yesterday before the Super Bowl, 115-96 against the Clippers. But Clippers, I believe, have been 19-6 in their last 25 games. Clippers playing some of the best basketball in the NBA right now. So no harm, no foul in that one. Also, the fact that it was a blowout, they got to rest a lot of their guys in that fourth quarter. I think Minnesota at home, no Kuminga in this game. Jalen Johnson is questionable for Atlanta. With the way Minnesota plays by having elite defensive guards as well as bigs, I don't think that Atlanta has a big in Rashace that's going to be able to get after them. So I like laying the points with Minnesota here, -8.5. Get a little get back. Anthony Edwards goes off on that one. All right, we're going Cavs Nuggets tonight. Really fun to actually match up. I'm surprised here. Cleveland, a 1.5-point road favorite in Denver. Give us Denver. Give us Denver on the money line outright. Denver, tough place to play, obviously, with the altitude. A lot of teams go there and have a lot of problems. Cleveland is not used to playing there. You see teams like Minnesota and the Lakers and Oklahoma City who have to go play in Denver a lot. They're able to deal with it. Cleveland, not so much. I know people are excited about this team after acquiring James Harden, Donovan Mitchell. Evan Mobley is out in this game tonight, which means I think that Nikola Jokic, even though he's questionable this one, is going to absolutely be able to feast. I know Jamal Murray's questionable and Christian Brown as well, but they've really been playing excellent basketball at the guard spot no matter who has been in and out of the lineup. I think this is a little bit of an overreaction to all the acquisitions the Cavs made at the deadline. Not having Evan Mobley in that altitude, Jokic is going to be able to feast in this one. I believe Valanciunas is back as well, so they're going to dominate the front court, and Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, and company are going to be able to go toe-for-toe with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. So give us +1.5 there. I'm taking them outright on the money line. Give us Denver money line tonight. Give us the Timberwolves to cover the spread against Atlanta with Kuminga and a couple of these guys out, -8.5. In Kansas, Arizona, big college basketball game. Give us the under 153.5. I think both defenses show out in the fog.
I dig it. I like it a lot. From 0 for 3 to 3 for 3. You're like a streaky baseball player.
We're Frank the Tank. We're going streaking.
We're going streaking. And come on, all of us to the quad.
Dude, that is one of the great scenes in movie history when Snoop's performing. Vince Vaughn, Speaker City.
Give everyone a little hint on what's going down tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, because like Super Bowl's over, we've had easy baked in stuff to talk about over the last little bit. Tomorrow morning on KGB, we're doing our favorite movie quote, like our most quotable movie line.
Can we get a teaser of what yours might be?
What mine might be, I know exactly what mine is. It's kind of fringe. It's sort of out there, but it's from the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Johnny Depp kind of like looks to the camera, almost breaks the fourth wall, but he's a little bit off. And he says, "But why is the rum gone?"
Oh, yes.
I say that all the time. It's one of my favorite lines in any movie ever.
That is a great line.
Knightley burns the entire stash, but I love that line.
I forgot about that. That's a good deep cut there. Every time I'm watching the Winter Olympics, I was watching figure skating last night.
Sure.
I cannot
baby.
not think about Blades of Glory.
So good.
Sex on Ice. I mean, you can't even make this up. Like Chaz Michaels has to make an appearance out there in Milan Cortina.
Nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative. It gets the people going. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. Take a quick break here. We got hour 2 coming up next. We are actually going to do our way too early power ranking for NFL next year. The one that comes up in like 213 days. We got power rankings for you in hour number 2. We'll also talk some Padres here because, man, we're weeks away now from Padres taking center stage here in San Diego. Let's get into it all next on San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Seahawks are Super Bowl champs, 29-13 over the New England Patriots. They are co-favorites next year along with the Rams. The Bills and Ravens are favorites out of the AFC, followed by the Chargers and the Chiefs. The Aztecs whooped up on Air Force over the weekend, 88-54. They'll be back in action on Saturday, taking on Nevada at home on the Mesa at 7 o'clock. As always, hear that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. You can also hear on San Diego Sports 760, Lake Show back tonight, taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. No Shea, no Luka in this one. Lakers are riding a 3-game win streak heading into it, but that game is going at 7 o'clock on San Diego Sports 760. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of the inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org.
Welcome to the Fletch Zone.
Sound off like you got a pair.
In the shadow of the bay, on Chappie and his crowd.
The Seahawks, they're bringing it home again for the second time.
The Seahawks claim the Lombardi for the Pacific Northwest.
So proud of our guys, our defense. I mean, I can't say enough great things about our defense, our special teams.
In the 49ers Stadium. Ouch. We'll react to the game and what it means for the NFL. The Aztecs pick up another Mountain West win.
Ohrnberger shot blocked away by Bird. Ahead for Heidi. Heidi, look out below with the two-handed slam.
The Raiders have their new coach. He was just busy until around 8 o'clock last night.
You guys know I'm going to Las Vegas, so I'm fired up about it. But look, tonight, for one more night, hell yeah, I'm going. Of course I'm going. Yeah.
Just confirmed it right here.
And the sale of the Padres still looms. Is a deal before opening day a possibility? We talk about it all from the San Diego Sports 760 studios inside the Fletch Zone.
Yeah, let's get it going. It's hour 2 here on San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John Schaefer is going to take over then. And we talked all Super Bowl in hour 1, but a lot went down in San Diego over the weekend. The Aztecs with a nice big win against the Air Force Academy. Dutcher saying after the game that, yes, that will be the last time a Brian Dutcher-led San Diego State team will be making the trip to Clune Arena. And it was big for a lot of reasons, but mostly because it actually really helped them out in the metrics. They won this game by more than 30 points. San Diego State improving in both net and KenPom. Now they're at 41-42. 41 in KenPom, 42 in the net ranking, which is beating where they've been for the last few weeks, which was hovering around 45-46. So San Diego State moving in the right direction. But Sammy, I don't know about you. My favorite part about that game on Saturday was the fact that San Diego State dominated the first half, dominated the second half, and never let the lead dwindle. They just grew the lead even when the bench came in. Raymar and Cam Lewine and Thakbor Majok all got time at the end of that game, and the lead continued to grow the entire game. San Diego State put them away.
Well, the Aztecs have had kind of it's funny how the schedule to start. The schedule in the middle of the Mountain West slate so far, they had that run where they played Grand Canyon, they played UNLV, they played Nevada the week before, then Utah State. You got up for all these big time games. Like these are games that are metric defining wins or losses, games that you really point to. And the last week has been kind of interesting for the Aztecs. So you play a Wyoming team that they're fine. They're not great, but
they almost beat Utah State Saturday. That was crazy.
Right. So Wyoming, you beat them by 9. Then you play an Air Force team that is 3-19 heading into the game. And if the Aztecs had lost, they'd be out of the at-large bid. I think we could put that conversation to bed, and it would be all about winning the Mountain West Conference tournament. So it's one of those. I remember Charles Barkley saying it about March Madness. The hardest game for the hardest weekend for the 1 seeds are the first one, because there's really no winning. You don't get credit when you get out of the first weekend because you were supposed to. This is kind of like what that was on Saturday. There's really not a big bonus to beating Air Force, but because the Aztecs beat them so bad, they were able to move up in the metrics. Got a little bit of a break here, taking on Nevada next weekend. That's going to be a massive game here in San Diego. So Aztecs just got to keep clawing. Overall, the last Mountain West Conference play, they've been fantastic. Like overall, 2 losses, 2 really close losses to Grand Canyon, Utah State. I think you look at this Aztecs team as playing great ball. The question is, though, because they're making up for a lot of missed ground early on in the year with the Troy loss and the Michigan loss in Arizona, can they claw out of it? It just, you can't really slip up. And the last week was really about not slipping up. Thankfully, the Aztecs didn't do that.
Here's what I promise you, and I feel confident in this. If they win every game remaining, which they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games left, if they win every game remaining, they will be an at-large bid team. If they lose one of them, they might be an at-large bid team. If they lose 2 of them, they will not be an at-large bid team. That's kind of where we're at right now. So they host Nevada Saturday night, Valentine's Day. Then they got Grand Canyon on Tuesday at Viejas Arena. And then you have a scary one at Colorado State, home against Utah State, on the road at New Mexico, on the road at Boise State, home against UNLV. That is about as tough a stretch anybody in the country is going to be going on over the next couple of weeks. Absolutely brutal for San Diego State, but everything's out in front of them, and they kind of hold their own destiny in their hands right now. And at least you got Utah State and Grand Canyon at home. Those 2 games that really worry you are New Mexico at the Pit and Boise State at Boise State.
This year really is an inverse of last year. Last year they played great early, and they didn't falter down the stretch.
You just needed to avoid slip-ups down the stretch, and for the most part, they did.
They didn't avoid they avoided slip-ups, but I just feel like they weren't playing their best basketball heading into the tournament. I think that was exposed by North Carolina. Hopefully the opposite is this year. They were not playing very good basketball to start the year, and now you're seeing them kind of come on late and can kind of ride this into the tournament, because the Aztecs really are, not just because we're San Diego and pulling for the team. You feel like if they get in, all the hype that was kind of bestowed upon them to start the year with John Rothstein, I mean, just talking about how he was like his favorite team in the country heading into the year as a sleeper. You feel like if they get in because of all the talent and hopefully finally being healthy, they're going to do some real damage. But to everything you just laid out there, the big question is, can they get in without having to go win 4 straight games in a Mountain West Conference tournament in Vegas?
It's going to be chaos, man. This is going to be a fun little stretch of basketball coming up over the next few weeks. And guess what? You're here, the home of the Aztecs in San Diego Sports 760. All right, big 3 of hour number 2 still to come in this hour. Our way too early NFL power rankings for next season, which starts in exactly 213 days, 6 hours, 11 minutes, and 53 seconds. Sammy, smash.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big 3.
We see all your texts coming in. We like them a lot. We'll get them on the other side. 70470. Start your message with the word team. Or if you want to jump in the YouTube chat and join along with the fun, it's at San Diego Sports 760. Subscribe over there. Sammy, where are we going?
So, first question is, where does Sam Darnold stack in terms of quarterbacks in the NFC? Because I feel like today you have a lot of both ways. You have a lot of people who are going, Sam Darnold won a Super Bowl. He's done what a lot of guys in the NFC and the AFC simply haven't done. Then you have a lot of people on the other hand going, I mean, it was such a great team. The Patriots maybe weren't the most worthy competition. These are just kind of what people are saying, and not giving Sam Darnold the respect as one of the elite passers in the NFC. Where do you fall? How many quarterbacks in the NFC would you take over him, if any?
All right, so the conversation starts with Matthew Stafford. Obviously, he's in above Sam Darnold, in my opinion, and I think the right opinion would say that's the no-doubter. Matthew Stafford's above. And then you start going to the list where I think Sam Darnold's absolutely a part of the Jalen Hurts, the Baker Mayfield, the Brock Purdy. I think you have to include Caleb Williams in that list. That's kind of where Sam Darnold is for me. It's Matthew Stafford, maybe Sam Darnold's at the top of the list, but it's a bunch of kind of dudes after that, right? And it's Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold, Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy. I guess you would include Baker Mayfield in that. I'm not ready to put Bryce Young in that conversation. So, yeah, it's the NFC is not nearly as top-heavy in the quarterback conversation as the AFC is, but it's kind of Matthew Stafford and everybody else.
Stafford has earned the right. He had an unbelievable year. Stafford would be one. Now, you can make the case because of his age. If you were starting a team, Stafford would get knocked down a peg. But for 1 year.
In fact, after this postseason, I think if you're starting a team in the NFC, you probably want Caleb Williams to be your guy for the next 5.
That's what I was getting to. I would take still.
I didn't put Jared Goff in that list. Jared Goff probably.
This is where Jared
Goff is slightly above Sam Darnold for me still.
Texas 70470. Start your message with team. Where is he at in the NFC? Because that's tough. You get in the conversation. I would have Stafford 1 for doing 1 season. If we're building a team, I'm taking Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels over him. Because of
I don't know. We need to see what Jaden Daniels is next year.
See, I think everyone's forgetting how good Jaden Daniels was.
He was amazing. He was great. But this year, even when healthy, he wasn't impressive.
But I put a lot of that on Washington.
Sure.
Washington's team, what he did, that roster that went to the NFC title game and got blown out by Philly.
Right, but the roster was supposedly better this year.
I know, but everyone got hurt. Remember, Terry McLaurin was hurt for a large part of the season. You trade Brian Robinson Jr. right before the season starts.
I think there is a chance, it's a less than zero chance that we saw a rookie flash in a big sophomore slump. And I know he was hurt for the majority of the year, but when we saw him healthy, he wasn't that great to me. So I need to see what he looks like in year 3 before I'm going to make any conversation about Jaden Daniels.
See, I think he's going to be the most underrated passer going into the league next year because everyone's going to talk about Caleb.
Take some MVP odds now.
I would, because Caleb obviously is going to get talked about, Bo Nix and Drake May for what they did this year. And the first guy that did it was Jaden Daniels. So I understand your hesitation with, right, was it the follow-up year that we were looking for? No, but the sophomore slump does always happen. So we'll see with these other 3. I would take Caleb Williams over him in terms of building a team. I would take Jaden Daniels. Then it would really be Darnold for me. And you can make a conversation with everyone else, with Jalen Hurts and your Brock Purdy's and your Jared Goffs, your Baker Mayfields. I think all those guys, we kind of know what they are, and it's not even a shot to them. I think they're decent to good quarterbacks. But I'm going to go with the Darnold, the Calebs, the Jaden Daniels with the upside. I am taking Darnold over Jordan Love. This morning I was watching a lot of morning shows, and they were like, Jordan Love has to be above him. Jordan Love has had a lot of talent on some of these Packer teams and has not come through. So Sam Darnold did just win a Super Bowl. I'm going to put Sam Darnold 4.
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl on easily the most complete roster left. I don't know. Our buddy Rich on YouTube saying Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl, but that Ravens defense actually won the Super Bowl. Darnold is in the same mold. It does feel like the Seahawks defense was the most impressive part of their team this postseason. And I give Sam Darnold a lot of credit. He didn't have a single interception or a turnover in the entire postseason, and that's a lot. But they won that game with field goals yesterday.
Rich, much love, Jamar, Jay Sills, Tyler, everyone came out on Friday. But here's my thing. I think the Trent Dilfer comparison is a little unfair. Trent Dilfer, Sam Darnold, no.
Did he have a single wow moment this postseason?
The game against the Rams, certainly.
A few, yeah.
But
it's like there's certain Super Bowls, like Patrick Mahomes has gone out and won a Super Bowl. I would say Jalen Hurts went out and won his Super Bowl. Tom Brady's done it a few times. Sam Darnold didn't go out and win this Super Bowl. His team did, but it wasn't him.
But the reason they were in the game, I think Sam Darnold was the number one reason why they beat the Rams.
Sure.
Yes, the Niner and Pats game, was he asked to do a ton? No. But the fact that they were even in this game, the Rams were throughout the season the number one competition to them, or as we thought for most of the year, the Rams were the favorite and the quote best team in the NFL. He went out and won that game and proved a lot of people wrong. I also think that Sam Darnold, after he kind of got the monkey off his back in terms of he can't win a big game, could go on a little bit of a run here. The only person I could hear an argument for in my list, I had Stafford, Caleb, and Jaden Daniels. I could hear Hurts over him, but it's odd to me with Hurts and how bad that offense is with how much talent they have on that team.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky thing with it. And Rich said it earlier. It's like, this is the conversation we're going to be having leading into next year. And my question is, what happens when Sam Darnold starts taking up more of the resources and you can't afford to spend as much on the defense? What happens when Sam Darnold starts taking up more of the resources and you can't have 2 great running backs on this team? Like, what do the Seahawks look like then? I'm curious. What's next, Sammy?
The story kind of got lost in Super Bowl weekend, but per report, both the Dolphins and the Cardinals are looking for trade suitors for Tua Tagovailoa and Kyler Murray. Would you want to start your team with either one of them? Do you think either one of them should be a starter next year in the NFL?
The other one is Kirk Cousins, who apparently is available now,
Kirk as well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Steelers are going to get one of these 3 guys, I would imagine, because where are the Steelers drafted? Are they like 12, 13, somewhere in there?
No, they're like 17 or 18 because they just missed the playoffs.
They're down pretty far on the list. So the Steelers probably aren't going to be able to get one of the top guys in the quarterback draft. You would think they would want to next year. Well, we're going to learn a lot about what the Steelers want the future of their program to be here over the next couple of months, because if they trade, like, Kirk Cousins is the logical piece for the Steelers to add if they want to be good next year. But do you want to be good next year?
Well, that's the point. I think if you're the Steelers, Jamar, our loyal Steeler fan, is on YouTube right now. I think if I'm a Steeler fan, I'm going, no. Take a shot in the dark with someone.
Trade TJ Watt. Get it as stanky as possible this year.
Highsmith, Hayward, all these guys. Put us in a position with a quarterback class next year with Arch Manning, Dante Moore, Jaden Mayaba, Lawrence Sellers. They are. I know this year was supposed to be a good class.
You got the head coach to do it. Mike McCarthy can lose you some football games, baby.
The only one of those three that I think, because we're talking about Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, all these, Geno Smith, all these guys that were just cast off and were done, and Mac Jones that had kind of resurrecting their careers a little bit. Kyler's the one of those three. I think Tua's done. The injury history. Tua had all the weapons at his disposal in Miami between Waddle and Achane and Tyreek. There's no reason he shouldn't have been better.
Tua needs a year off or a year as a backup. Kyler can go start somewhere this year and have an immediate impact. I wouldn't mind seeing Kyler Murray on the Miami Dolphins if I'm being completely honest.
Well, Kyler's so weird because in terms of talent, he's up there. Like, you talk about pure talent of a quarterback.
Great deep ball thrower, can move, is super elusive. I like Kyler Murray.
And think about the year that they traded for DeAndre Hopkins. And was that the year that they got beat by the Rams and they were the one seed for most of the season? Like, Kyler Murray was the next it. And then Arizona has been mismanaged on offense. I think some of the moves they made, like Trey McBride's a very good piece. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a solid receiver, but hasn't really been the quote superstar like Malik Neighbors and some of these other guys.
Well, and RG3, what's his name? Marvin Harrison Jr. was actually better with Jacoby Brissett than he was with Kyler this year.
And that's fair. And there also has been a lot of Kyler doesn't study, his teammates don't like him. There's been a lot of negativity around Kyler Murray.
Big Call of Duty guy.
If he gets in the right spot, I could see Kyler having a second act to his career with a team that it has some more pieces around him.
All right, let's save your final one for the other side. I mean, if the Steelers want to try to be good again, I wouldn't mind seeing Kyler Murray there either. I don't know how he would do in cold weather games, but seeing that happen makes sense to me. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Big three, number 3, going to come up next. And then we're also going to get you the way too early power rankings for the next NFL season, which is 213 days away. Guys, we're almost there. 213. That's it. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, how are you? It's Fletch here for Valley View Casino and Hotel, and I want to tell you all about Patties and Pints. Oh my goodness, Patties and Pints at the Valley View Casino and Hotel. They have some of San Diego's best handcrafted burgers, authentic deep dish pizzas, ice cold draft beers, and creamy shakes. The dessert menu is ridiculous. The key lime pie, I'm telling you, even if you don't like key lime pie, you got to try it at Patties and Pints. This is one of my favorite restaurants, period, not just casino restaurants. Patties and Pints, the burgers are made with Valley View Casino's signature all-beef blend, featuring your favorite toppings on their deep dish pizzas. Patties and Pints serving burgers and American classics with an unforgettable dining experience. Grab a pint from their extensive list of craft beer on draft. You can sip on hand-selected wines, innovative cocktails, and martinis, or indulge in a delicious creamy shake. Visit Patties and Pints at Valley View Casino and Hotel today. Enjoy your favorite all-American dishes to prepare or that are prepared to perfection. And while you're there, don't forget to join the Players Club. You'll get $10 off your meal at Patties and Pints. Signing up is always quick, easy, and free. Plus, when you join the Players Club, you're going to receive over $200 in free offers to use at San Diego's favorite casino, like the $10 off at Patties and Pints, like $10 of more play, which is free slot play, and $10 of match play, which is free table game play. Get on over to Valley View Casino right now. Sign up for the Players Card because when you upgrade from red card to blue card, you're going to get 2 free Maine Lobster buffets when you make that upgrade. And the more you use your Players Club card on all your favorite slots or table games, the more rewards you're going to earn, like complimentary dining, free hotel stays, luxury gifts, and invitations to exclusive events. So don't miss out. Visit Valley View Casino and Hotel and join the Ultimate Players Club today to get over $200 in free offers. To learn more, visit valleyviewcasino.com. All guests 21 and over are invited to enjoy the casino, hotel, and restaurants. San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John Schaefer's going to take over then. And hey, congratulations to you. Yes, all our $5,000 winners in iHeartRadio's Think a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. There's still time for you to nominate a public school teacher making a difference. And maybe they'll be one of our next winners of 5 Gs to make over their classroom. Help us say thank you to the educators who are shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. Can't believe we haven't talked about it, but food at the Super Bowl. Man, I had some good food yesterday, Sammy. Were you at a party or were you just at home?
I didn't. My party my boy didn't end up throwing it, so I just was kind of kicking it, having some good hors d'oeuvres with the fam.
So we did a little potluck style Super Bowl party at our friend's house in Lemon Grove, and there were some drunk people at this party because teachers, a lot of them have the day off today somehow.
What?
Yeah, it's Abraham Lincoln's birthday, so that's a day off for at least Lakeside Unified School District, which was the majority of the teachers I was hanging out with. So they were getting after it. And
it should be first off, today should be a national holiday.
There's a bunch of committees who are pushing for that today because I think everyone's just pissed you're at work. Today's NBC had the number, but it's something like a projected 22.3 million people are calling in sick today.
Right, it's work. Like one of these random floater days that like schools and works get, like that it should just be after the Super Bowl for no reason. So
I'll be on it. Like I wasn't planning on getting drunk yesterday, going to a Super Bowl party. So we drove. I took my wife's car. I ended up Ubering home because the Jell-O shots were flowing. I don't even like Jell-O shots, Sammy, but somehow they just kept showing up in front of me and I was taking them.
Jell-O shots.
I ended up hammered yesterday for some reason, unintentionally, and they sneak up on you. I feel like I only had like 2 or 3 and I was wasted.
Yeah, they got a little bit of a delayed reaction sometimes.
For sure. And Kendall made these, and that was like what we brought for the potluck. And then all of a sudden, I'm sitting there like, Bad Bunny.
I was limiting the drinking because our guys from, by the way, thank you to everyone who showed up to our show on Friday.
Yeah, man, we had a great time.
Our guys from Society were the best and were giving us their beer, which is fantastic beer. I had a little bit too much of that Friday afternoon and night. So we was not really in the drinking mood yesterday.
I had a good time yesterday, but paying for it today. Happy Super Bowl hangover to everybody. It's not just going to be the Seahawks next year. It's everybody today. So if you're hungover, welcome in. Enjoy. We got it.
Hey,
we got you for another 30 minutes.
Did you see what Adam Schefter reported?
Which time?
Well, a lot of stuff, but today teams in the offseason are pushing the NFL to quote to extend the NFL trade limits from 3 years of picks to 5.
Okay, who's the big free agent that everybody wants? Oh, this is Joe Burrow. This is Joe Burrow.
Well, so
this has to be Joe Burrow.
Maybe like that's
this has to be. It's 5 first-round picks for Joe Burrow. Who's going to do it? It's going to be the freaking Rams. The Rams are going to send Matthew Stafford off after this season. Send 5 first-round picks to Cincy.
I got to be honest. I wonder if this opens up more massive trades because in the NBA you can only trade a certain number of picks and you can't trade back-to-back years of picks.
Right.
But it makes sense why these teams in the NFL now aren't sending 5, 6, 7 years worth of picks, which is usually why these big time quarterbacks don't become available. Because if a quarterback like Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or Mahomes would somehow become available, which no one would ever do.
If you're the Bengals right now and somebody offers you 5 first-round picks for Joe Burrow,
I would consider it because of his injury history. But here's the thing. If you're Cincinnati, you're such an irrelevant franchise without Joe Burrow.
And by the way, you're part of that injury history.
Right.
I am going to blame Cincinnati's lack of offensive line for part of the injury history of Joe Burrow.
I mean, you just feel like after the Micah Parsons trade, the Luka Doncic trade, these trades in sports that the players that you would deem were, quote, untradeable, it feels like where there's smoke, there's a little fire. Joe Burrow, how much longer is he going to be there? How much longer, by the way, is Lamar Jackson? What if it doesn't work out with Mincer? How much longer before Dak Prescott is a little bit tired of going to the same thing every year with the Dallas Cowboys and whatnot? I do feel like them extending to 5 picks. I mean, a 5 first-round pick package could.
I'm down for this. Raj, you just got the Fletch and Sammy stamp of approval. Make it happen. Push it through. Our buddy Jamar talking about what we were talking about with Jaden Daniels says we just saw the Commanders do this with RG3. RG3 wins Rookie of the Year. Everyone thinks, oh my God, the future for him is going to be huge. Where do you go after that? Torn ACL jail.
Yeah, but Daniels, I hear where you're at, but Daniels
also says, I hope Jaden doesn't have that same career.
Right. RG3 had massive injury history in terms of significant knee injuries.
Yeah.
Daniels felt like a little bit more of a holdout precautionary reason because the season wasn't going anywhere.
Tyler saying Arizona needs to shore up that offensive line.
Yep.
That's a fact. And Jamar says, I'm praying for the Steelers to have a 4-win season. Steven says, see what happens when you ditch Geno Smith and Fossil Pete. Yeah, the Seahawks, this turnaround they've done, really just shipping Geno Smith out of town. It A, doomed the Raiders even more than they were already doomed, and B, got Seattle a Super Bowl.
Have we ever seen a franchise rebuild on the fly like that?
No, Seattle. I mean, the Pittsburgh has done it actually a couple times over the years, but not to the point where they're winning
a Super Bowl.
Right. And so Seattle was able to do this without having a bad season once, and they've gone from the Russell Wilson era where they won a Super Bowl to now all of a sudden right back up. I'm not ready to call it the Sam Darnold era, but whatever this era is, the Mike McDonald dominant defensive era, and they just won a Super Bowl.
Well, and John Schneider deserves all the credit in the world in that you saw value in a player in Geno Smith that no one else did, who was a quote bum. Then when everyone thought he had value, you realize he was past his prime. You ship him out of town, and then you go get a quarterback from your own conference in the NFC who they didn't see value in. 4 teams didn't see value in him, and you go get him. So props to the Seahawks and John Schneider for basically building 2 kind of separate winning entities for the Seahawks over the last decade.
It's way too early. We're doing it anyways. Top 5 teams in the NFL heading into next season is coming up next. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by Allstate. Seahawks, Super Bowl champs over the New England Patriots. They are co-favorites next year alongside with the Los Angeles Rams to win Super Bowl 61. News out of the golf world, Waste Management Open. Chris Gotterup won in a playoff over Hideki Matsuyama.
That was the choke job from Matsuyama.
Oh, okay. I was like, are we having a seizure over there? Matsuyama gives it away on the final hole, hitting one into the water. And the Lakers are back tonight on San Diego Sports 760 at 7:00. Taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC is currently a 7.5 point favorite in this one. Hear it right here on SD Sports 760 at 7 p.m. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Tonight, we got the Lakers. They got OKC. No Shea, no Luka. Is that right?
Yeah, they are both hurt for this one.
Pre-game coverage gets going at 6:45. Tip-off at 7 right here on your home for the Lakers in San Diego Sports 760. So John Schaefer will take you right up to it. All right, we're going to do our way too early power rankings for the NFL in 2026. And before we get the NFL horns and everything, we understand that football is still 213 days away. But Sammy, if you would like, why don't we do 3 honorable mention teams each that nearly cracked our top 5, but have not cracked our top 5. I'm going to go Broncos, Bears, Niners.
Oh, you're just giving them off the top.
Those are my 3 honorable mentions. And then we'll get into our top 5 and give a little more answers and questions and all the things. But Broncos, Bears, Niners are 3 teams I thought about putting in my top 5, but didn't quite make it. Do you have 3 honorable mentions?
I do. They're actually all out of the AFC. So I'm going Chargers, Chiefs, and Bills.
Okay.
I think all 3 teams. I think the Bills anytime you have Josh Allen, James Cook, you're going to have a shot. I didn't like the Brady hire. We'll see what happens in the offseason. Chargers getting their offensive line back. I do think they're going to be a threat next year, but a tough division, and we'll see if they can figure out the interior. And my Chiefs, yes, I'm sorry we weren't there this year to make it more entertaining for everyone. They will be back with a top 10 pick, going to get a running back, figure out the safety position, a little pass rush. I firmly believe after Patrick Mahomes gets back, the Chiefs will be right in the conversation again.
How about that? Maybe a Chargers Rams Super Bowl in SoFi.
Chargers winning big games doesn't usually happen.
It's a little home and home. That would be great for everybody. I'm sure all of us would love that. All right, give me some horns. My number 5 team in our way too early power rankings for next football season are the New England Patriots. Yes, they were just in the Super Bowl. I understand a lot of people are talking some smack about the Patriots today, probably well-deserved, but it felt too early anyways. This was, I'm going to call this Drake May's rookie season. I know it wasn't, but he only played like a quarter of last season and then gets into this year. And look, I liked what I saw from Drake May all regular season. It felt like they were a year too early to get to this point. I do think they get better next year. I think Mike Vrabel's culture has hardly even been put in place yet, and all of a sudden they're in a Super Bowl. I think that there's a lot to like if you're a Patriots fan. You just need to see some maturity, and maturity from your head coach. I would say some maturity from your quarterback, and it needs to happen over this offseason. I do think the Patriots are right back in the mix next year. It just felt like they were still a year away when they got this opportunity, largely because the AFC was so down in the postseason this year. So Patriots, my number 5.
Number 5, going with the Detroit Lions. I think Detroit has a bit of a bounce back here. They're too talented offensively to be this kind of stuck in the mud. I mean, Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs. You can't go through an offensive coordinator change, taking it away from Morton halfway through the season and then Dan Campbell calling plays. I think they'll get that settled down. The entire draft is going to be about the defense. This is kind of getting to be Jared Goff's one of his last shots. I mean, how many times can you kind of keep running the same team back over and over again and getting after it? I think the Lions at 5, a big bounce back here for them.
All right, my number 4 team is going to be the Buffalo Bills. You cannot look at me honestly and say if the Buffalo Bills were in that Super Bowl, it would have gone worse for them than the Patriots. I just think it would have been a much better game. They may have won the game. This might have been Josh Allen's chance to shut everybody up and go out there and get himself a Super Bowl. That's not what happened. Whether it was his injured foot, whether it was their lack of defense, they could not get past the Denver Broncos, and this is what happens. Josh, you failed us, and now we had a bad Super Bowl, so thanks a lot for that. However, I think going into next year, under the direction of Joe Brady, who's been in control of the offense for a couple years now, the Bills can regroup a little bit, get healthy, and if they make a couple of nice draft picks on the defensive side of the football and maybe a wide receiver for once, this could be a special team once again.
I'm going with your Niners. I think the defense is going to be unreal. You got Micah Williams, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner coming back. You saw Mustafa, the entire defense coming along. Now
It's getting hot. I need to take this coat off. I like what I'm hearing.
I'm fair. I'm telling you I'm fair. Now,
They weren't even in my top 5.
I'm putting them at 4 because the roster's there. I still have massive concerns about the offense. You know how I feel about Brock Purdy. I think he's a good player. I don't think he gets it done in the biggest moments. I'm worried about McCaffrey in his advanced age, and we'll see with this receiver spot. Is Ayuk on his way out? Sounds like that's going to be the case. Pearsall, can he stay healthy? And George Kittle, can he stay healthy? So the defense is going to be one of the best in football, but can the offense crack it? Right now, I have them at number 4, but I think some of my AFC teams are going to jump a few of these top 5 teams as the season goes on.
All right, my number 3 team is a bit of a wild card. I don't know that people are going to see this one coming. Jacksonville Jaguars. They gave me no reason to think that they shouldn't be right back in this situation next year. I think Trevor Lawrence had his best season so far. Liam Cohen appears to be the real deal. They're building something special in Jacksonville, and it would not shock me at all if they get to the same point or even further next year in the NFL. I really like what Jacksonville is building. I think they got a young, talented, fun offense. Maybe another year of Brian Thomas Jr., who was disappointing this year, can emerge as a bigger threat next year. Trevor Lawrence seems to finally be becoming that golden boy that we all thought he was coming out of college. Give me the Jags at 3.
Rams, number 3 for me.
Wow.
I think the Rams are going to be a really good team again next year. They're going to bring everyone back. Problem with the Rams, you got to get corners. You have to get corners because this team, Emmanuel Forbes, I know Kobe Durant, they're solid guys, but at the end of the day, they needed a lockdown corner to go up against JSN. So they got to attack the secondary, but this team, no reason to not expect Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Stafford, and company won't be right back in the same spot.
I'm very confused on what Sammy's top 2 are going to be. One of them is going to be the Seahawks, but I don't know the other one. My number 2 team is the Seattle Seahawks. I think that they are building something special. Once again, I think that it took a lot to get through the NFC this year in the postseason. I don't think they proved anything massive to me yesterday, other than they were much better than the New England Patriots. I think just about everybody in the NFC would have done the same thing to the Patriots yesterday. So Seahawks number 2, we'll see what Sam Darnold wants to do contractually, but if he wants to renegotiate his deal this offseason, I think they kind of have to. And then we'll see what this team looks like on the other side. But Seahawks number 2.
Number 2 team heading next season, Baltimore Ravens. Ravens, Lamar Jackson, Minter's there. I'm excited about what he's going to bring for the defense. Everyone forgets. Talk about the Niners. The Chiefs got decimated with injury. A lot of teams. The Ravens got killed with injuries. I mean, Nate Wiggins, Matabike, the D tackle, Kyle Hamilton. They may win that game against Pittsburgh if Kyle Hamilton doesn't go down with a concussion. That whole defense is coming back. They had injuries on every single level. I know Derrick Henry's getting up there in age, but the number 1 thing in the draft for Baltimore has to be to attack the receiver spot. I'm very high on Baltimore going into next year. I think they're right back up there towards the top of the AFC.
My number 1 team is the Los Angeles Rams. I think that this lineup is too good. This roster is too good. Matthew Stafford has confirmed he's coming back. So that means another year, better connection, you would assume, with Devontae Adams. If he decides to return, Puka Nacua, did everyone see the video of Puka Nacua wasted last night, or am I the only one? Okay, maybe I'm the only one. Puka Nacua might need to mature a little bit this offseason, but he's a phenomenal football player. Kyron Williams coming back, Jared Verse, the whole defense coming back. I think the Rams easily could have been the Super Bowl champion this year, but they got outplayed by Seattle in the NFC Championship game. So give me the Rams at number 1. I think they're a better overall roster with a more trustworthy quarterback.
Give me Seattle 1. They just won the Super Bowl. I think I owe it to them to put them at number 1. I don't think they will be repeating as champions, but Darnold played an excellent game. JSN, Kenneth Walker, young talent everywhere. We'll see if Rashid Shaheed is back, and that defense isn't going anywhere. My list right now had 4 NFC teams in it because before the draft and before free agency, the NFC rosters are a lot better than the AFC. I think the AFC, we're going back to Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Chargers. I think these teams are going to kind of retake, not that the Chargers have ever really been there, but those teams, the best quarterbacks, the Bengals sitting on the outside, are going to be kind of taking over the AFC once again. It's just the rosters have not been constructed yet, and we'll see where we're at with Patrick Mahomes' injury. But the NFC right now has the rosters. My one honorable mention that I didn't put in there, I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to shock a lot of people.
I was honestly wondering if they were going to be your number 2 team, because you make these calls every once in a while that come out of nowhere.
The Dallas Cowboys I like
you and Dan Orlovsky just love you some Cowboys.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually like what Jerry Jones is doing. They're building around the defense. There's a lot of young talent there. Dak Prescott's playing at an extremely high level. I think Dallas could surprise a lot of people next year.
I was having this conversation yesterday, not about Dallas, but about the AFC in general. This was happening just after halftime when it was clear that Seattle was going to win the game. And I was like, how much better would the AFC postseason have been if Jacksonville and Buffalo started on separate sides of the AFC bracket? And that could have been the AFC championship game.
As you noticed in my list, I didn't put the Pats or the Broncos in there. I think both teams completely benefited from a terrible schedule. The Broncos are not getting the fourth quarter luck that they got this year with all the late comebacks, and the Pats got exposed. They played a real roster and a real team without massive injuries and didn't show up. So I think the AFC is going to look completely different. I think the
best
NFC
game in the AFC postseason was Buffalo-Jacksonville.
Right.
And that looked like the 2 best teams to me in the AFC once it got to playoff time.
And the big question is this. So if we assume, whatever you think, Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes are all back in this picture, I think all 3 are making the playoffs, at least 2 of them, because the Steelers are dropping out. So the Ravens or the Bengals are winning that division, and I think the Chiefs are going to make playoffs.
So that means probably Texans, Patriots left for dead, Broncos maybe as well.
I think they're out. I really do. I think the Chargers make it again. I think the Chargers can be better next year. But
they should go to Vegas like now and start putting some of that stuff in.
There's some juicy odds right now.
Some juicy odds right now that we could pounce on a little bit. Like Sammy's take. Who did I just say you should put in MVP for him? Oh, Jaden Daniels.
Oh, that's first off, he's going to win comeback player of the year. We all know this.
Maybe.
And then MVP, I could see it. They got to upgrade the roster a little bit, though.
San Diego Sports 760. We will close this thing out coming up next live on the iHeartRadio app, but we're going to do it in a special way because a list just got released, and I will give it to you on the other side live on the iHeartRadio app. Ben Fletcher's Sammy Long with you for a final time here on a Monday. Text that we missed throughout the show. I apologize. 858 says, was Drake May hurt yesterday? He was dealing with a shoulder injury early in the week. I don't know how much it affected his decision making, but yes, he was technically dealing with an injury. 615, mad props to Big Rich for not being afraid to admit he didn't care for the halftime show. So many cowards out there afraid of their own shadow. I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. Just be man enough to admit how you feel. I agree with that text. However, I did like the halftime show.
Yeah, I had a good time. So I guess
I'd already had 3 or 4 Jello shots. Maybe that played into it, and I was moving my hips. But I liked Bad Bunny's halftime show.
I thought it was cool, man. I really enjoyed it. I liked when he brought Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin.
The cinematography of it all was pretty cool. How he was walking through the aisle. I have heard if you were at the game, the halftime show sucked because you couldn't see it through all the hedges, the bushes that were actually people.
Oh, right. Okay.
858. I hit $300 on the Super Bowl yesterday. LFG.
Yeah.
Also, best moment was Kubiak confirming he was a Raider.
It's a good gift for the Raiders.
That was from our buddy Tyson. That was hilarious post game. I was like, you guys know I'm going to Vegas, right? And they're like, are you confirming this right now? And he's like, yeah, it's confirmed.
Yeah, I'm curious how that works there because obviously tough division to come into, but if you believe in Mendoza, then it's the right job.
619. What a defense. What a team. What a run. Must have been weird to see a good team win on your field, Fletch. LOL.
That's quacked.
Thank you, Quacked. Appreciate
Quacked on
you.
Padres.
858. Lakers money line looking good tonight. Then fade them tomorrow night versus the Spurs. Sammy, take that into account.
I could see that. I could see the Lakers actually pulling an upset tonight. I think Reese is a big one.
913. Will the Pats have another cake schedule next year? If yes, they may advance pretty far. Scheduling was ridiculously easy. Definitely an asterisk by the Patriots.
Well, this is what happens when they play a third place schedule only last year, because if people don't know the scheduling works, you play whatever you finish in your division, you play the other placing teams in the AFC or NFC. So that's kind of how Denver and New England advanced so far this year. It's not going to be the same with both of them finishing first. So that's why I think there's a major step back for both those teams.
Jay Silves, who we got to hang out with on Friday.
Yeah.
So Darnold game managed with nearly 0 mistakes. Seattle's defense made that Patriots front 5 look like Swiss Gouda from the first drive. Terrible ball game. No comment on the halftime show. Rich said they showed them mixing the Gatorade early, gave away the color before the shower.
Yes.
I immediately ran to my betting app and tried to place a bet on yellow, and it wasn't available anymore.
The New York posted an article. A lot of people were able to do it.
I wasn't able to. I was pissed because I immediately ran.
So wait, why didn't, if you were at the game, you obviously could see them mixing it.
They have different flavors.
Yeah, but they showed them mixing.
They did, but they showed on TV. They showed on NBC the Gatorade being mixed. I tried.
I'm sorry if you followed my plus 260 blue.
I know. What a waste. All right. Before we get out of here, did want to mention football's over now. We have 213 games until football, or 213 days until football is back. So here we're gonna go rapid fire as fast as humanly possible. Sam, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is a yes or no question. Whether or not you're excited to see this movie in the theater. Super Mario Galaxy.
No.
Me too. Michael, which is the Michael Jackson movie.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think I'm probably knowing that one also.
Yes, sir. We're moonwalking in there.
Toy Story 5.
No.
I'm a yes. Supergirl with Millie Alcock.
No.
That's the new. I'm yes. Minions 3.
No.
I'm a no. Moana live action.
No, I'm not 10 years old. I don't want to see these movies.
That one, I will be taking my nieces and I will like it as much or more than they will. The Odyssey.
Yes.
Yes. Hell yes. Resident Evil.
And no.
I love the video games, but I'm kind of a no also. A movie called Digger with Tom Cruise.
Yes.
It's
could have just said Tom Cruise.
Yeah. So yes. Street Fighter.
Sure.
Nah. Hunger Games, new one. Hell yes.
Yes.
Narnia, new one.
No.
I'm a yes. Dune 3 and Doomsday.
Yes.
Yes and yes.
Yes.
And yes.
Yes.
We're gonna
Yes.
see
Yes.
those on the same exact day. All right, everybody. John Schaefer next. We'll see you tomorrow.